Hey everybody, Tag Life Done Free. Hey, I thought you guys might be interested in watching me build an arch. You know, you can do things square. That's easy to do them square. But I like the weird things in life, and I like things to have character, and I want things to have something to look at. You know, everywhere I look. So if you're interested in building an arch, come on, check it out. Hey, Freedom Family. So I'm out here working in the Pod 4 today, and I'm getting ready to do a pretty neat little project, so I thought I would just take you along. And, you know, maybe you guys are interested in it, maybe you're not, but a little backstory is since I was a little itty bitty kid, I always wanted to live in a castle. So as I built my house, I tried to incorporate things that were maybe medieval or castle-y. So I don't know how many of you have gone back and looked, but like there's some videos that have like my living room and some other parts of my house. There's lots of arches, lots of stone, stuff like that. So today I'm going to build an arch. So if you look right back behind me here, let me see, turn the camera around here. You know, in this opening right here, I'm going to build a big arch, and it's not there yet. As you can see, I got the drywall coming over, so I'm kind of into the next piece. And so I'm going to hang this piece, and then I'm going to show you how to measure out and cut the arch, and then we'll go from the back side and we'll support it and those kind of things. So again, don't know if you're interested in an arch. I like that kind of stuff, so hang out. I'll be back. All right, guys, so you can see I got that drywall up where I'm going to create that arch. And what's important, so I get up here, is okay, so this line that runs all the way across, all I did is find my center. Okay, so this is, and I'll show you from the back side, this is the center of the opening. Okay, and so whatever this distance is, this half distance, I'm going to measure back down the wall, which is right here, and this is going to create my perfect arch when I'm done. Okay, so a couple things to show you real quick. So back here on the back side, right, I don't have a lot of structure in here yet, and I don't really want a lot of structure in here because I want to be able to create my arch without a whole bunch of interference. I want it to be very, very smooth. But the couple tricks here to this arch is I want it to come flush to the ceiling, you know, where there's no lip. And the reason for that is because when the heat comes in here, when we're heating off grid and I don't want to use power, I want the heat from the stove to just come in here and heat the bathroom and the closet without any interference. I also want it to come tight to the wall, you know, so there's no stub wall. So this is why I'm building it this way. So let me get my stuff out and I'll show you how I make the circle. All right, everybody, so as you can see behind me, I hung the drywall. And so what comes next is I'm actually going to build the arch or draw the arch out, cut it out, then I'll have scribes, which will allow me to continue. But let me just real quick show you what you have to do. So first things first is I made this top line, which is where the bottom of my ceiling is on the other side. And I put a screw directly in the middle and ran a string. Then I measured from this line over to the corner and then made that same measurement down here. Then I leveled across, and where that string line went across that line, you can see here, created a cross. And so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a screw right here, and then we're going to draw the circle. All right, so I'm gonna put the screw here in the center, and then we'll draw the circle. But I have to tell you guys something. My wife just reminded me that you know, she in the very beginning was attracted to me because of my pencil in my ear. So it's pretty exciting. But anyway, so see, I'm gonna put this screw right here in the middle. And what that's gonna allow me to do is to put a string on that screw. Now I want to come out here to my mark. You guys watch this right here, see? I'm going to wrap my pencil. Let's put this down here. I'm going to wrap my pencil until, see that right there where my pencil is directly on, and see if I turn my pencil one way or the other, it will bring it in and out. See how I'm out a little bit? Watch that out there, I want to bring it in. Just right there, right where I want to be. Right? And then from there, all I do is make sure that I get this good here. Okay, it's all she wrote. So then real quick, let me grab my jigsaw and I'll cut it out. All right guys, see how this piece is floppy? Right, so when I cut it right here, that whole piece is gonna be free, but it gave me my mark on that other side, which will then help me when I build it. So, that's it. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to come up here to this piece that I took down, get it cut, get it framed in so that the arch is complete, and then I'll report back to you. All right guys, so you can see I put a couple blocks up in there, okay? I put these 2 blocks up here, and then this 2x6 is going to go right up in here. And what we'll do is we'll come put that little piece that comes down the end down here, and we'll scribe along the bottom of this board. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Here's the actual board, and as you can see down here, I did a scribe, and you see how that's a little more bowed than my cut. I'm leaving a little bit of extra because then I'll get in there and I'll clean that up with a flap disc and make it just lay in there absolutely perfect. The problem with doing it like this is I cut it with my skill saw, which it only goes in about 1/3 of the way, and then from the other side I can cut it again. You look up here, from this side over here I can cut it again 1/3 of the way. But basically what it leaves, if you look down here at the bottom, you can see my cut comes in here and in here, but it leaves the center. And so I've got to get this cleaned out of here. I'll use my Sawzall, jigsaw, flap discs, etc. But it's pretty hard to work with. So what I do is I'm just going to take a couple screws, because it's just framing. It'll all be, you know, covered and inside the wall, to hold this for me so I can clean it up. All right guys, so I use this Sawzall. It's kind of, I kind of call it the one-handed Sawzall. I like it better than the big Sawzalls because, again, I can use it with one hand. But anyway, so I use that, and as you can see, I just cut this piece out of here, right? Which is the bottom tail of that arch. Now, I don't want to clean this up yet until after it's installed, because what I'll do is I'll come by with a flap disc and I'll make it absolutely perfect up there inside the wall. So let me get it installed and I'll show you what I'm talking about. Okay guys, so if you look here, so see I put this board in that we just created, and remember this cut that I made here, which is going to help for the arch. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to attach, you look up here, I'm going to attach this arch piece, right? And then see how it connects right there at the bottom down there? It's nice and smooth, and then I'll frame it inside the center, and it ought to be easy. So let me get this hung and I'll show you guys the next step. Okay, so you can see here, right, I got that piece up. So if you look, the whole arch is in. Now remember, it dies into the walls, okay? So it might look a little weird right now, but as I get it together, it'll be fine. Now I went ahead and scribed the back of this one so that I could match it perfectly. And I'll show you guys exactly how I do it when I get over here. But I did that, so I'll put that in, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. See, I set this scrap piece up here, and here's a line, right? So this will line up exactly with the one up there. Now when you guys are scribing, the thing to keep in mind is that the line is on the outside of the piece you need. So I will take my saw blade and I'll run my saw blade down the center of the line in this particular case. Sometimes I will cut to one side or the other depending upon the need, and I'll show you guys that if we ever get to something that does it. But anyway, so I'm going to cut the line and get it hung. See, I've got the front and the back of the arch began. You know, projects like this I love doing, and I love doing because they eat up all your scrap. Typically to build them cost you no more money than just doing a square wall, because you've got all the scrap laying around that typically you're going to throw into a dumpster. So I get to make my house have character and something to look at everywhere I am, because I don't intend to go anywhere. So anyway, let's go back to this. Okay, so what I'm going to do next, I'm going to get this board set up in here, right? And that way what I can do is I can work on the balance of that arch, right? So that I know exactly how that goes, and then I'll get that one up in there. Okay guys, so if you look, see here's the scribe from the bottom, or the very, very top of the arch on that board. And so now I gotta get that one out of there. All right, guys, so next, what I gotta do is I gotta put this board in here. And all I did is just take a board, measure where I thought it would be, cut 45s on each end and set it in here. And you see how it's just nice and flush across there. The thing what you wanna do is you want just trying to make to where you have as many places to nail to or to screw to as you can as we come in here and build the front side of this arch. So, pretty simple. All right, guys, so basically there's one side of the arch from a structural perspective. The only thing left to do is this empty space that's in here. I don't really need something to nail to because I can get to it pretty good on both sides except this little triangle right here. So I think it'll be all right, but what I need to do is I wanna make sure it's got some backing. And so I'm gonna fill this with expandable foam, cut it off flush on the top and the bottom, and then we'll move over and work on that side. Hey everybody, I'm back at it at the arch here. So let me just kind of show you what's got going on here. So I built the arch, I put, you know, these boards run long in here. So there's just a tiny triangle right here that's just, we'll have a hard time getting a screw to, but most of it I'll be able to get a screw to. So I filled these up with foam, cut them off with my Sawzall to make the arch. I drywalled this wall, and obviously drywalled this wall, and then what comes next is over here. So I basically know two ways that you can do the arch. One way is to wet the drywall. You know, if you can get like 3/8 inch drywall, something thin, you can wet it and it'll make the curve pretty well. But I'm gonna show you a different way to do it today because, well, that's just the way I'm gonna do it. So if you look here, see all these lines? So I took my measurement, I bent my tape around the arch, I took my measurement, and I marked out 1.5 inches on each one of them all the way. Okay, just using my speed square, right, and my pencil. And I came behind with my razor knife, which, by the way, for those of you who don't carry one of these, this is the handiest tool ever. I carry it everywhere I go. B carries it everywhere she goes. Great little tool. Anyway, I came and scored all of these. So then what I'll do is when I get it up in there, now it's important, when I get it up in there, I'll bend it around. Now it's important that you score the back. It's important that you score the back here and not the front because then you'll have the wrong paper on the wrong side. But I'm going to work on getting it put up here and I'll show you what it looks like. Okay, so there's basically the bottom side of the arch installed. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the bendable corners on it and get the arch nice and perfect. All right, guys, so as you can see, I got the corners on it, and then the corner down this wall. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some mud on it real quick. Now, typically I would not mud yet. I would wait until I had all the drywall up, but because I've got you guys, and because I started the video of building an arch, I'm just going to get a coat on it so you can see what it looks like, and then I'll finish it up when we do the rest of the drywall. All right, guys, so as you can see, I got a little bit of mud on that corner and up over that arch. So a couple things on mudding. So because of how this works, it's going to take me a couple coats of mud to get it right. So what I want to do is I want to put some mud in there to begin with, and then I will come in here, give it a light sanding, put another coat of mud on it before I start shaping it so I can really work on, you know, getting that curve perfectly right. But it's in. I probably won't do anything more on it until I'm finishing the rest of it. Again, I typically would not do it this way, but because I just wanted to get the video uploaded to you guys because I had already started it. That's why I did it this way. But again, I hope you learned something about making an arch. I hope it was helpful. I'm by no means an expert, but there's an arch. See ya.